actors sound great.
You sound amazing.
Wow.
You sound so amazing.
Thank you. I can hear it in your voice.
You sound beautiful and like the best I've ever heard.
How about me?
The best I've ever heard as well.
How's this sound? This is my actor voice.
Oh.
This is a good actor voice.
Yeah.
Hi,
oh
my
my gosh,
name
we
is
should
Joe
add
Wiens. I was an actor.
Let's add that as the question.
You were an actor once?
I was. That was what my profession in
See,
Chicago.
there's so much we don't know about you.
'Cause there's just so much I don't know about you. See, starting it off right.
Yeah.
I grew up wanting to be an actor. When I was in 5th grade, I was cast as Robin Hood in Robin Hood. And the next year I was cast as Davy Crockett in Davy Crockett.
Where else could you be cast as Robin Hood other than Robin Hood?
Well, exactly. I mean, there might be spin-offs. I think there's the Nottingham Sheriff of Nottingham has an HBO Max series.
Oh,
No, I don't think
gotcha.
No, I just say that. I like to say it for emphasis. Like,
was
the name
it
is
like a
Robin Hood.
regular Robin Hood or like a Men in Tights situation?
This was like, let's say 1990,
Okay.
91.
Okay.
So it was like the 70s young, when they would put elementary school plays on, they would use those old school like Robin Hood, Davy Crockett. Like we're still Davy Crockett.
Right.
And so we hadn't moved into the Broadway Junior, which they do like Guys and Dolls. They do like
fun.
Waiting for Godot probably. But they have all of these newer, cooler plays. But back then, if you were in elementary school, you got like, the old school 70s, 60s style plays.
We didn't do plays, I don't think, in elementary school.
I moved to a couple different schools.
High
so I wasn't-
school.
Yeah, high school for
school we
sure.
did.
High school.
But we were doing
mean-
like Oklahoma.
We did Oklahoma.
I
My
mean-
sister was the
like elementary school, we had like,
Talent, or like we had,
the
yeah,
Christmas
we had
pageant
like,
and stuff like that. Yeah.
but we didn't do actual plays.
Yeah, we had an ambitious director, and
Wait, where was this?
this was Gowanda, New York. So this is
Gowanda,
about
New York.
an hour or so south of Buffalo, New York.
Oh,
so right
cool.
near Lake Erie, and kind of near-ish the Pennsylvania border, like an hour and a half. So Western New York, go
Yeah.
Bills. So it was small town. I graduated with 90 in my high school class, but I wanted to be an actor. I just liked it, and they're just like, well, my parents would do what you want to do, whatever you. Unfortunately, no. But I went. So I was like, I'll just be an actor, and I did it in plays in high school, and then I went to school, Niagara University in Niagara Falls, for 4 years.
To be an
to
actor?
Be an actor. So I took theater. I majored in theater, which I don't necessarily recommend for nothing against Niagara or the program, because it did teach you a lot of the things. But like, I feel like to spend that much money, Mom and Dad, to spend that much money on a private school for theater, and it's you better want to be a teacher too, because there's just so few.
Exactly.
And you have to really want it.
Yeah.
You have to be you have to. That's probably the number one attribute over talent. Like if you really, really want it, and you want to put in the work and the grind of like trying to go from your day job to an audition that's like a commercial where you're like dancing around like a monkey, and they're yelling at you and they're telling you wore the wrong thing, and then you go back to your day job, and then you maybe hear from them, no, they rejected you because they don't like your teeth, and it, like eventually you kind of go, man, I liked acting, the craft of doing a play and studying a character, but it got to be like, I don't like this lifestyle, and if it were me to do it again, I would have gone for something else, or just went to acting school, like straight up school at Steppenwolf, Chicago, or just go to a try, or just start acting and maybe take classes and get a degree so that you can work somewhere. But they always say, don't have something to fall back on or you will. Well, good. You should have something to fall back on, because if you want it that bad to be an actor and try to, fly around the country and try to get, where am I going to be working in the spring? Oh, I got an audition. I got to play. Oh, now I got this commercial. Oh, I got to go in Chicago PD. I was on an episode of Chicago PD.
What?
Yeah, so I had one line, and it was just nerve-wracking. It's just it takes a certain type of person, and I guess I realized somewhere that my entire drive of my identity and who I wanted to be was like, oh, maybe I don't want to be an actor anymore. Like, or maybe I don't want that to be who I am. It's
what
okay
was your
if
line? What was the line that made you
my
change
line
your
was,
mind?
well, now looking back with the residuals, I'm like, I should have just stuck it out. Jesus, get over yourself, Joe. But you get a check, every once in a while. For one line, I'm getting checks,
Wow.
And it's not a ton, but it's definitely when you're like, oh, okay, let's go out to dinner. So my line was something like, you know what, I think it was something like, thanks, I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't. This is great. This is why I'm not an actor anymore. No, it was something like, so I'll set the scene. Somebody stole a bunch of stuff from somewhere, and the police recovered it, and they laid it out, and they told people, hey, if you had your stuff stolen, come and claim it. And I walk in looking all blue collar with my beard and everything, and I look and I find my 2 tools, and I walk up to the table, and I say, hey, thanks. I would have lost a lot of work had you not found these tools, or something like that. And the funny thing is, I just had that line, and then he says, yeah, make sure you get them insured next time. That's it. That's the 2 lines, right?
Yeah.
So in my head, in my acting, I'm on stage, I'm doing Shakespeare. I got one line. I'm like, I think, and I knew the relationship. So there was the girl and the guy. It was like, and I knew that they were both cops, obviously, but I knew they had this kind of relationship, that he liked her because I watched the show a little bit, and I knew there was a tension. So in my head, I'm reading in between the lines, saying, well, maybe I'm coming up to them, because that's the only direction. Come up to them, say the line. What if I'm coming up to them and I'm really just wanting to flirt with her? Because if you think about it, why do I care? Just take your tool. And I guess I have to put them up there, and they have to sign something. Be like, okay, you're who you say you are. But I definitely, when I went up there, I went, so I really thanks for getting these tools for me, because I don't know what I would have done without them. And I gave it a little bit of charm so that then he can say, yeah, well, make sure you get it insured next time. So,
well done.
You see why it tells a little bit of a story when it could have been
just a line.
So in short, I'm amazing. No.
Can we get a link to this so that we can
get
see
a little
you?
clip of the video?
I know it's like Looking Out for Statesville is the name of the episode.
Okay.
Looking out for
Statesville or Statey or State Farm.
But it was Chicago
State
PD.
Farm. Well, I mean, it was insurance.
I'll send it to you afterwards. But yeah,
Okay.
no, it's literally.
Oh, fun.
But the thing is, I wanted to tell the director before. I'm like, I'm gonna go up to it and tell him like I'm gonna do this, and I'm like, nah, no one cares, Joe. And I was so nervous, like just the sheer nerves. You have to just love it and do it all the time. Like you have to be, in my opinion,
right.
It doesn't work for everybody. But if you're doing auditions 3 a day, grinding, that stuff eventually gets. You don't get.
Were you
nerves.
doing that in New York? Or?
I was in Chicago.
Okay.
And so that's why I was stuck, because Chicago, there may be an audition every month. Okay, 2 weeks later, I get another one. And you can't get in a rhythm. So every time, and you have a day job, you have to. And so you're like, I got to go, guys. I'm going to run out for 2 hours, change into a suit, go into this thing, grab thing, walk in the room, be super nervous, go, that sucked, do it again. Okay, less sucky, bye. And leave, and then go back to my job, wait for a call, and not get one. And then you just kind of go, man, and you just have to love it. And I think that I just didn't. And, you can find that love again. And I'm sure there's people that don't love it that are doing it, but they got past it, or
Sure.
they hit the right. But at some point I was like, I don't love this enough. And I did love playing music. So.
Yeah, we're going to pause for a second because we need to introduce him.
Oh.
We haven't done that yet.
No, but he kind
I
of
launched
introduced
into it.
himself
Sorry.
Yeah, but we didn't. Wow. How? When? Wait. Where was
at the
I?
very beginning.
Did
yeah,
you?
I said actor voice and then talked
Yeah.
about acting.
Yeah. Nobody didn't say his name. No, he didn't. He said,
I don't think I said my
no,
name.
you didn't.
Yeah, you did.
No, he didn't.
Okay.
I swear you didn't.
If I didn't, my name is
Hi.
Joseph Joseph Wiens, and this is important because a lot of times people think it's Wines because it's Wiens, but it's Wiens. And actually,
Wiens.
if you know,
I always thought it was Wiens.
well,
I've been saying Wien, so I'm happy I've been actually
Wiens.
saying it right. That
Wiens,
was
yeah. Wiens. I would take
Wiens?
Wiens. People have called.
Wiens?
I just don't. Wines hits me.
Yeah,
weird.
I wouldn't. I've never said Wines.
But
that would be awful to
it's
have
been
that
my
last
whole
name.
life, and it's and
Joe Wiens.
just
Oh.
and then Joe Wiener. I mean, but that's
Oh,
my
yeah,
actual- So you got used to Wiener. Hey, Wiener. I used to-
Was that like a nickname for you? Or
Oh God.
Y-
Yeah, Wien dog, Wiener.
Wien
Yeah.
dog. Wien dog.
Joey Wiener. I think I might have
I
called
mean-
myself Wien dog. Oh no, I tried to get that nickname going. Hey, how about Wien dog? That's better than Wiener, right? Come on, Wien dog didn't catch on.
Didn't work.
I feel like you have to kind of be a cool guy to like
I was not.
live up to that name.
I was 170
I feel like you are, though.
pounds in this frame, and I'm 210 now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was super thin with big old shoulders like a hanger caught in them, gangly, real skinny, looked like Kermit the Frog, with big braces forever.
Oh
Can
my
you
gosh.
do a Kermit the Frog voice?
Kermit the Frog here.
No, I suck at it.
Hi ho. So much I don't know about you.
I wanted to do Rainbow Connection. No. But I had braces my whole high school.
Okay.
I
Do-
got them off when I went to college.
Wow.
Do we get to see pictures?
I mean, good luck finding those. I mean, I have them somewhere, but
Yeah.
I mean, I just look like the essence of puberty. Just like gangly and like pimply and like, and
So you possibly were not Wien dog.
I was not Wien dog. I had one girlfriend in high school, and she was 2 years younger than me. And I was always kind of the trying to be funny. I wasn't even the class clown because I don't think I was that funny. I thought I was the class clown, but and both my parents were teachers, and so I always had a parent at the school I went to, which was rough because anything I did, they could just go tell my dad.
Was it a
Son
small town?
sucks. Yeah, small town. Gowanda had like I think 4,000 people, 5,000 people. So yeah, it was. But I mean, it's a great town to be a kid. It was a valley, and we were right up on the hill. We had a sledding hill, and it was a small town. You could walk to the whole town, and it was outdoorsy and woodsy. And I had, it was a great place to grow up. And then I moved to Buffalo to be a professional actor, and I had all these side jobs. And then I had a job where I was selling something out of a bag on the street. So
A
basically,
legit job?
So you dressed
what
up-
was in the bag?
so this is, I answered an ad in the paper. This is how old I'm dating myself now. And it said, hey, sales, we're looking for salespeople. You go in and it's like, 15 dudes, all in their 20s, early 20s, like me. And this like dude in his late 30s as the boss. And it's like it's just a warehouse. And they get all of this merchandise in, like toys and little watches and little, knick-knack stuff that you see people selling around here sometimes, like stuffed animals and
Random stuff.
yeah, random stuff, no overhead. And we get a big blue bag, and they would send us to the city in our suits to go into businesses and be like, hey, do you want
Want to buy my shit?
you want to buy my stuff so that you can sell it? And it was super cheap, and it was like, and you worked like 11 hours a day, and and we would drive.
With your sack?
It was like a big gym bag full of like stuff that you would give like as a gift,
Yeah.
and it was near Christmas, so it made sense, and it was candles, and they were super cheap. So the guy would be like, well, this is how much they are, and then you bring home all your cash, and then we'll give you some of your cash. And I would make like $60 to $70 a day. But I was like, I'm making cash at the end of the day. And then you figured out, wait a minute, how does he know what I'm selling it for? Like, he wants me to sell this watch and bracelet combo for $10, but I could sell it for 20. I could sell it for 25. And how is he going to know?
Right.
And then I would just bring back, but I did it for 5 days.
Okay.
And then afterwards I went and saw a play, and I was like, I don't want to do this dumb, like, it just felt soul sucking to sell, to be a server, to be anything on top of being an actor, which is also self-serving. It's so me. How do I look? Hey, did I get the part? How are my teeth? Do I look like Kermit the Frog? Like, it's all this stuff that you're constantly anxious about.
Yeah.
So I didn't want a job in the daytime that also was fake or like, soul sucking. So my buddy was working for the state of New York in group homes for developmentally disabled people that could not take care of themselves. And I was like, oh, he makes good money. He didn't even go to college. And I'm like, oh, maybe I'll take the civil service test. So I took it, got a job, and worked for the state, working with people with disabilities. And that's where I started to go, this is something that I enjoy. I enjoy helping people, and I enjoy the balance, because I it cannot be about you at all in that job, and you have to take care of people, and they're adults, and you're feeding them, you're doing all these things for them. And then I would go and play Buddy Holly on stage at night at like the local theater. Aww. And it just felt, I'm like, well, this is good. I can support myself. Right. It was good money. It was a union job. And that's when and then when I moved to Chicago, I worked in an autism program. And then when I was 3 years in an autism program, I worked as a social worker with people with mental illness, living in the community. So I would drive around and help them stay in their apartments and make sure they're taking medications, make sure they're going to their appointments. And so I always did that until I moved here. 2022, I moved to Puerto Rico. So I always did that, and then acting at night. And that was my life. And it's burning the candle, but it was fun. But then at some point, COVID hit. It was like, whoa, what is theater anymore? And theaters have gotten super political. Everything in theater is like, there's a place for activism theater, of course. But when it's every theater, then it starts to be like, can we, or telling diverse stories?
Can't we? Yeah.
I like to tell diverse. I think diversity across the board, which is why you want points of view that are different too. Let's do it all. And after a while, that's what you create. That's why you create, because you don't want to be held down. You want to be able to create whatever you're feeling. You want to be able to express without judgment. Even if you're feeling something, you're like, I feel bad about feeling this. You still want to be able to express it. You still want to be, it's valid. And so all of those factors, and the anxiety and I just fell out of love with it, and fell more in love with playing music.
But you've been playing music since, like, when did you really start getting into it?
I picked up the guitar in middle school and taught myself because I had already taken some piano lessons. So I knew music, and then I just got a Bob Dylan chord book, and because I had seen him in concert when I was like 12. And that's a G, that's a D, that's a C, and I sang along with, the key was singing along because I could just accompany myself. And I just got better and better. And then when I went to college, every woman I met loved Dave Matthews Band. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, I like him too. And then I just learned every Dave Matthews song.
Wow.
Because I loved it, because they loved it, and also because it was like a Dave Matthews song. Well, let me do one.
So excited.
So a Dave Matthews song is like this. Satellite headlines read, someone's secrets you see, eyes and ears have fade. Satellite strong from the moon, and the world your balloon, peeping time for the mother station. said, oh, look up, look down, go around the satellite. You see, it's very like intricate, and then you have to sing over it.
Yeah.
Like it's hard. And so when you learn that way, and I just happen to be a person who loved to sing and play, so that's how I learned the guitar. I didn't learn it to try to do anything crazy, but when I got to Dave, I was like, oh, I can do a little something crazy, because I'm not a lead guitarist by any. Like I can't solo very well. I mean, a little bit, but if other guitarists that were good saw me, they're like, this guy's just faking it. But that's why I like the Dave Matthews. It has the different. It has different riffs as you sing. So I got better and better just because of that.
Yeah.
Because to be able to play and sing that.
Yeah.
And then I didn't really play a ton. I would go through not playing guitar for a while, just not even picking it up for months and months and months. And then I would write a song or something, and then months and months and months. And then it wasn't like I played a few gigs here and there, but because I had acting and I had my day job, didn't really leave much time. And then right around COVID, I quit drinking, December 11th, 2019. And then COVID hit, and I was like, oh, but I had already tried to quit a few times, so
Sure.
I knew that my brain was going, come on, it's COVID, just come on, man, it's COVID. What the heck? You've never seen anything like this. You just gotta have some Jameson. But I went, no, I want to remember this. That's literally, I said, this is going to be a wild time to be alive, and I want to remember. I don't want to be like half drunk at 6 p.m. and sleep till noon.
Right.
Like I want to experience this. And Amber, my wife, who I love, who our anniversary is Wednesday.
Oh, yay.
She was with me during all that, and I think she's probably the main reason, like to have someone who is supportive and just being there and being like, okay, I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have. I don't know. I definitely wouldn't have done it then. I probably would have taken a few more cracks, but I got a song for that if you want.
Sure, let's do it.
Yeah.
I'll yammer on. So
We are all for yammering.
no. Oh, I almost started the wrong song. Raise your glass and hold it steady. Wait for everybody to be ready. And with this water, I'll make do. Your tolerances are various and sometimes downright hilarious. But I will drink vicariously through you. You know why? Bet you don't, but I'm gonna tell you why. 'Cause I'm allergic to liquor. I can't touch that stuff. If I have just one sip, I break out in handcuffs. Got to get on the right path. Getting lost was good for a laugh. One day at a time, it's what they say to me. One day at a time, well, how long can one day be? I'm never picking up a drink again. Now if I can just kick the weed, the cocaine, and the heroin. Well, I feel more better. My forgettery's improved. I put the bottles in the garbage. Now I hardly get the blues. Flying was real fun till I was flying toward the floor. They're gonna miss me down at the corner store. One day at a time, that's what they say. They didn't inform me there's 24 hours in that day. I'm never picking up a drink again. Now if I can just kick the weed, the cocaine, and the heroin. I met an old woman. She was a few steps ahead. I asked her a few questions, but she just shook her old little head. She whispered something in my ear, but it went right over my head. She said, boy, you better get right, or you were gonna get left. One day at a time, that's what I'll do. But I need your help, I need to drink vicariously through you. I can be your favorite sober friend. You know why? 'Cause I kicked the weed, the cocaine, and the heroin. Yes, I did. I kicked the weed, the cocaine, and the heroin. Okay. Well, I kicked the cocaine and the heroin.
Love it.
Yeah, that was
Oh my god, that was so much fun.
that was funny. Let me
I
just.
love that.
So yeah, that was. I was working on a one-man show right at the end of being in Chicago, which was just me on stage telling stories about the songs that I had written. So COVID, I quit drinking, and then all I had was time and all this raw emotion, because you just stop sedating, you stop quieting these things that you're like, shh, no, you don't need to worry about that. Go. You know, and that's what I did. I mean, I was just I was functioning. I went to work and everything, but it was a thing that I just did.
Sure.
Often, every night, whatever.
Yeah.
And it was just a routine. And so when you cut that off, and then all of a sudden your brain chemicals are like, where is it? Bring it. Okay, well, you can start crying now then. You know, and or writing a song, or both. And so I wrote, that's when I just started to write. And then I think because I was a little more clear-minded, I just said, why do I care who likes these songs? Like, it's about what I feel and who I specifically want to like the song. So I started writing, like, I'm going to write a song my Uncle John from North Carolina would like that kind of song.
Yeah.
That was like a little country twang, a little bit of that folkish humor.
A little, yeah.
And that's kind of where I live now.
Which is, stuff I love.
I mean, that's
so
the
good.
kind of, Jim Croce was always one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And I feel like he had that humor and funny songs, which can be, some of them are brutal. And then he had the Time in a Bottle. Like, he had the most beautiful love song.
Right.
And I like the idea of having, and so that's what I try to write, the funny, folky ones that I like writing.
You can do the fun stuff like Flight of the Conchords, you
Yes,
know, like
yes.
the you folksy.
And then, but also, like, okay, once in a while I want to write
A real,
like just one that doesn't have to be jokey.
Sure.
It can still have a little bit of, humor, but it's really less about, it's another Joe Wiens kind of folky, fun, play on words, rhymey. A lot of my songs can be rhymey.
I
as
like
hell.
rhymes.
Yeah.
But sometimes I
enjoy-
get trapped in rhymes.
I mean, I enjoy it.
I do too.
I get OCD about them. I'm like, that has to rhyme, then that has to rhyme, and then these. This internals, and I just. But sometimes it pays off, and sometimes you're like, dude, you're just rhyming. You're not saying nothing.
So what brought you then to Puerto Rico?
Puerto Rico was Amber and I didn't want to really be in the theater scene anymore. Wanted to buy a house. Wanted to settle down. Wanted to be somewhere where if we wanted to do like the boating life, because we had a job, one of my other jobs was on the weekends in the summer. The last 2 years I was in Chicago, we did a pontoon boat, Leinenkugel, which is a beer brand.
Yeah.
It was a Leinenkugel boat. It was Brandon and Leinenkugel. We took it on the Chicago River. We took it on, and we just, handed out the swag, took people on it. I played music on it up to Chicago. Now there, if you look at my Instagram, there's me on top of this pontoon going down the Chicago River, like under the bridges, just jamming. It was the most fun ever.
Fun.
But
now I'm
she
gonna
was,
have to go back and look at your.
oh God,
old
yeah.
Instas.
And she was the captain. Amber drove the boat. I was the first mate / lifeguard, and the only way.
First mate / lifeguard / entertainment.
Well, so another benefit, like again, when I'm healthy for the first time, like legitimately healthy, I would say, for the first time in my life around COVID, because it contributes to everything else. So I'm like, okay, Amber says, I got an offer because her friend was running the boat. For Leinenkugels is the marketing person. Is like, I need a captain. It has to be legal captain. Amber had her captain's license.
Is that why she has the nickname Sharky?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
Captain Shark. Yeah.
Shark.
Because she worked on the tall ship in Chicago, which was the big pirate ship, and that was her nickname on there. Because she caught a shark when she was fishing once. She caught a giant shark, and she has a picture of her with this huge
That's
shark.
wild.
So she sent that in as her headshot.
Oh, funny.
To try to get the job, so they call her Shark.
That's cool.
So she would be driving he reached out to her. He's like, okay, you got the job, because I just need for the insurance, for everything, I need an actual captain that will do it. But then they needed a lifeguard because they were going to have people swim off the back of it. And he said, Amber, my wife, she said, what about my boyfriend at the time? What if he got his lifeguard certification? Could he work with me and have that job? And he said, oh, definitely. I'd rather have a couple. And so she's like, all right, now you just got to get your lifeguard certification. I was 39. And so I was like, okay. I called my Uncle John. I'm like, hey, you swim? He's like, oh, yeah. I go, I got to swim 550 yards without stopping. That's one of the prerequisites.
Okay.
And that's the only one I was concerned about.
Okay.
And it's 22 lengths of the pool without stopping. And I'm like, phew. And I asked him, and he said, well, you can swim as far as you can walk. Which did not make any sense to me.
Wow.
You can swim as far. He's like, yeah, you just swim as slow. There's no time limit.
True enough.
He was wrong, because I
Okay.
got into the pool and I'm like, let me see. And I went super slow and I got 4 lengths.
4 lengths.
And I'm like, oh, shoot. And I had to change the test. I'm like, oh. Because I thought, I'll just go real slow. No. And so I went into the other class. I moved it a month, and I was in there. You had to wear your mask in the pool. It was so funny. You got in, you had your mask, because this is during COVID.
You had to wear your mask in the pool.
In the pool. Well, you got in the pool, you stepped in the pool, you turned around, you took it off, you put it in a Ziploc bag. Then you swam your laps.
Oh my God.
It was pretty ridiculous.
You
But,
cannot.
it was a
listeners, can you feel my eyes rolling right now?
I mean, I'm just telling you that's what it was, and that was kind of funny. But it was great because then they limited the lanes, so you got your own lane. But I went and I practiced, and I got better and better and better. And I'm like, okay, I think I can do it. And then I went to the thing, and it was just me and 16-year-old kids. That was it. Because they're all trying to get certified for and I'm sitting here, 40th birthday. It was literally my 40th birthday.
Oh, God.
Yeah, 40th birthday. Or 39th. I don't even know what year
That's
I'm
funny.
at. And so I'm sitting there. It was my birthday with my little red thing around my waist, the little lifeguard thing. And he's like, all right, we're going to do half of you are going to do the 550 yards, and half of you are going to do the other stuff first. And I went, what? And so he goes, you're doing the other stuff first. And that was me. So I have to do the diving the bricks, I have to do all this stuff. And then,
then you're
do it.
tired.
and I'm like,
oh.
and so I start
no.
getting anxious. Turns out I might have a little bit of anxiety. And so I'm like, oh man. and my legs start getting jello-y. And I'm like, oh my God. So I and it's literally these kids. And so I get in, I say, all right, we're going to go. And you got to do 22, So I'm going, and I get like, I want to say 8 lengths,
Okay.
maybe 10 lengths. And I start freaking out because I thought like, oh, I'm going to have adrenaline. The adrenaline makes you, and no, you do not want to have adrenaline in a pool, because as soon as you put your head underwater, you're like, I need to breathe. So basically having a panic attack. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was a panic attack because I'm going, if I stop, I pictured myself stopping,
And then you
getting
fail.
out. Yeah, getting out, walking to the locker room, and going home, and never think. But I'm like, I told everybody I'm doing this. I really want this job. So I'm like in my head going, what are you going to do, Joe? And I just said, it's just time. You're not going to die in this pool. It's just going to take a while. Just keep going. You don't need to put your head under the water. They didn't care your form. I was like, I was flopping my way through the rest
Some
these
doggy
these
paddle
5
at some
laps,
point.
and I look up as I'm doing it because literally I didn't put my head in the water after that. I was up, either side. I didn't even go down here, and I'm just flailing, just trying to get the air. And I look over, and there's this kid, probably 15. I look over him, and he gives me this big like.
You got
Fist
this.
bump, you got this kind of
Yeah.
And I'm like, sweet. And I was like, I think I got it. And then I look up and the lifeguard goes, I thought I had 4 more. Lifeguard goes, you got 2 more. And I went, I can do this. And I did it. And I finished and I was like in tears. And I'm like, oh my God, I did it. There's something that I really wanted to do, and I overcame it because for many years I was like, if it's too hard, I don't know. And I just felt so accomplished and like and I would have never done it if I hadn't got my act together. And so then they go, all right, now we're gonna do the treading water. but that was easy. And then the hard part was the next 10 days of actually learning because that was just to get into the class. But in the hardest part, to be the survivor. Because they're like, go to the bottom of the pool and wait for the dude to rescue you. I'm like, what? So they want you to dive, just being the victim, dive down there and sit there. You don't know when the guy's coming. You don't know if he's going to be like, I'm like, hurry up, God damn it. And then I would just,
Oh my God.
he would grab me and I'd go up with him. I'd like help him. That was the hardest part, was being a victim because you're at the,
Oh my gosh.
and having any sort of anxiety. Hyperventilate while you're swimming. Let me know how that goes. Right. Anyway, that was, and so I became a lifeguard. We did it.
Lifeguard.
Long story short, we're like, maybe we could do that one day in Puerto Rico.
That's good to know when we have house parties and, we all jump in the pool. If anybody is drowning,
Hey.
we have a lifeguard.
Well, technically, I need to get it again.
Okay. So
Red Cross is 2 years. I thought about doing it here when I first moved here,
oh yeah.
but I'm like, nah.
That's
It's
funny.
tough. If I knew what I had to go through, I wouldn't have done it.
So okay, so you were in Chicago, and what? Because the question was,
Why'd
Why'd you
you
move here?
come to
why did you come to Puerto Rico? Yeah.
Yeah, and I almost got to that, didn't I? Well, we wanted to get. I guess I told you why we wanted to get out of Chicago, which is, and why we wanted to have it so that if we wanted to do boats, we could do it the year round. We didn't
Right.
need to just do it in the summer.
Yeah.
And we had visited here, March 2019. Amber, I had just met her 3 months earlier, just dating her. She said, "I'm house sitting in Rio Grande. Do you want to come to Puerto Rico? Have you ever been?" I said, "No." "Do I need a passport? Where is it? What do I knew it was down there somewhere."
Yeah.
And so I came, visited her, and we had a blast. And that was the Joey whiskey days. And so we just were drinking and smoking and going to the zip line, and we kayaked to Monkey Island, and we just did all this stuff. We're like, cool, that was awesome. Went back to Chicago, came back the next year, 5 years ago today.
Wow.
When COVID hit, we were in Puerto del Rey Marina in a boat, ready to go on. Our friend was going to take us around the Virgin Islands. It shut down the harbor. We stayed in the harbor on the boat and explored the island a little bit more. Went back to Chicago, started talking about houses, started going, she has a remote job, a nice remote job. So it's like, why not Puerto Rico? I proposed to her, and we got married in Aguada. And so then when we got married, we looked for places, found a place, we said, why not? Bought it, came.
What area?
Canóvanas. It took me a while to learn that one. Canóvanas. It's basically, it's 20 minutes east of the airport.
Got it.
Yeah, it's
Right.
like by the Route 66 mall, the Sector 66 mall, and the Hippodromo, which is the horse racing track.
Oh, right.
I live
Yeah.
right by the,
Yeah.
and it's in the Campo. I mean, we're in a small town, kind of like Gowanda, smaller, and then, we have some chickens. We have 9 chickens now.
Yeah.
Yeah, 9 chickens. Got some eggs.
So if we need eggs,
Oh, we need eggs.
We know who to call.
Should have asked me. I would
I
have
know.
brought.
Dang it.
But no, we have.
I need to just start asking that of everybody. Hey,
Yeah.
do you have chickens?
We started.
I
with
could
one.
use some eggs.
Yeah. We started with 1 chicken, and then we got suckered into taking a rooster because we thought he's like, "You want these two too?" It's like, "Yeah, are they chickens?" Yeah, no, they were roosters.
They're roosters. These roosters.
So we had like 3 roosters.
roosters.
No, our dog. Oh man, I won't.
The
go into that,
roosters in Puerto Rico. I mean, I think it was with you and me, right, Erin?
Yeah,
when
at
we
the
were
mall.
we're at the mall and we're like we hear it, and
It's like up in a
it's in a
tree.
tree in the parking lot,
At the mall.
just
but I love it.
doing its thing. And
It's
I'm
so
like,
Yeah.
Puerto Rico just
Yeah.
to see
I
a
love
random
it.
rooster. I have a shirt that says Vieques in the Jurassic Park kind of lettering,
yeah.
and then there's a big rooster behind it, like at the T-Rex.
oh, I like
Funny.
that. That's great.
Yeah, that's and so we moved here right before Hurricane Fiona, 5 days before, and just getting used to it. Over 2.5 years. So
Yeah, and loving it.
and
yeah.
just coming out here for the farmers market. It's the first
Yeah.
time I came out here.
Was
That's-
farmers
well,
market, and then
that's where
that's when you started playing.
yeah.
So did you find Jen, or did Jen find you?
I found Jen because I went to when we visited one of those times. We went. She looked up a farmers market, and it was in Palmas, and it was when it was
At
not
the-
where it is now. It was
at the hotel.
At
yeah,
the
it was at the
window.
hotel.
Yeah.
and it was big, and it was like there was a band playing, and it was rocking.
It was so much fun. We
And-
always had fun.
yeah, and I had seen her YouTube videos
Oh,
because
yeah.
when we were looking
Oh,
at Puerto
right.
Rico, we went on YouTube and
Jen There Done
Jen
That.
There Done That. And when we got there, we were at the farmers market. She came over and started talking to us, and I go, "Is Jen There Done That?" I think that's Jen There Done That. And so then we went back home, and then when we moved here, we looked up the farmers market again. We went out there. There was nobody playing, I don't think. And I went up to Jen and I said, "Hey, if you ever want somebody to play the farmers market, I moved here. I play music." It's like, "Oh, okay. Yeah, I got some people, but I'll let you know if they cancel or something." I said, "All right." I gave her my number, and she called me like for the next Palmas Farmers Market and said, "I didn't."
Yeah,
This
they
guy
canceled.
And so then, and I just played
rained,
almost
so they
every
canceled.
farmers market for a while.
Yeah.
Starting then, and that's how people
Yeah, that's yeah.
met me, and it was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, it's Joe." I'm trying to think of what I might have been. Brent.
I think
and-
it was
and
Brent and
Kathy
Kathy was the first
was
time
the first time.
that I remember seeing you outside of the farmers market.
I think that might have been the first one I ever did. I think they were
For me, it was at one of Mindy's events.
Yeah, and Mindy's great. Mindy, I went out to Sun Valley
Oh right.
Yeah.
4th of July. That was a wild. That was wild. Yeah, it was. I just love. To me, playing music is a little bit more. I don't know. It feels more pure to me than acting because I have a little bit of control of what I want to sing, and songwriting, what I want to say. But it also can just be fun. Like music just does. You put on Love Shack, and people just it takes people who are thinking about something that they're sad or anything, and it just brings them out of it. And there is this real collaboration. That's why I like people coming up and singing with me. I like to share music. I don't like to just perform it.
Joel sang on Friday.
Yeah,
Did he?
He did.
What did he sing?
He sang Ripple,
Oh yeah, and I missed
and he sang Take It Easy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
I don't want to put you on the spot, but I also do. So
Yeah.
one of my questions I wrote down for you: what was your favorite Palmas house party?
favorite. You know what? Whichever one that one was, where I jumped in the pool.
That was Joel's
Did you
birthday.
jump in the pool?
Yeah,
too?
he did.
Oh, that's
No,
awesome.
I mean, just because
We
I
all
didn't.
jumped in.
You know what? All of the parties are very nice.
I know.
Everyone's super sweet.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's those sometimes you're in a place where people are like, this is a good environment, and whatever's happening, there's things being done, and I like when people come up and sing with me. I like when people are dancing, and you don't have to like be watching me, but like just involved in earshot of the music.
That's right. Eric and I put on a little dance to one song.
Yeah, you did.
I don't
But
remember
that
what
was-
song
I
that
don't remember what it was either.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah.
I mean, Ted and Arlene's was fun. I mean, Brent and Kathy, the first one, because sometimes it just depends. It's the right amount of people. Sometimes you just have like a perfect amount, like 15 or 20 people, and they're all in a room, and it's almost like a show, and then they come like a variety show. That's probably my favorite.
Love that.
Where it's a little bit more everyone's involved, and I don't mean they have to be paying attention to me all the time. I just mean the focus is here of us singing together, dancing,
Right.
doing karaoke, or singing with me. It's happening for an hour and an hour and a half, and then I can maybe play a song that I wrote about Puerto Rico, or somebody in the audience will maybe connect with because
Right.
it's similar situations.
So you're doing shows, but you're also teaching.
I did start teaching, and I love teaching.
Oh, I was supposed to ask you something. Sean wanted me to ask about singing lessons.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely for
Yeah,
Sean. No,
definitely for Sean.
I'm kidding.
I would be interested though.
No, I have, yes, adults, kids. I love doing it. Both my parents, like I said, were teachers. I probably, that would have probably been a good thing for me to do in college, and then but again, my path was my path.
Yeah.
I like my path. But all that to say is I do love it. It's probably my favorite. And I love teaching kids, but I really love teaching adults because I feel like I can be 100% myself.
Yeah.
If I'm teaching kids, I have to not only watch how I say things and my references,
Yeah.
but also understand that they're coming from a certain place. So
Yeah.
I love teaching, and I'm open to take new students. I do guitar, piano, and singing. My favorite is probably guitar to teach because it's the thing I know the most about,
Yeah.
and just know inside and out. I mean, voice I know a lot about because I took it in school, but I mean, there's just something about teaching somebody an instrument that is, because once you learn piano or once you learn music like I did, then you can teach yourself
Right.
anything. So yeah, I love. I taught today. I'm learning, because it's my own curriculum of like, okay, you want it, and then you have to, individualize it and find out, okay, this kid does not, he likes things like a puzzle. He likes to get the notes, he doesn't like to just wing it with chords and his ear like somebody else. So it's about learning that, but I do love it.
I have a totally random question that I ask our guests.
Okay.
And I'm calling it just totally random.
Okay.
Are you ready for my totally random question?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay. You wake up tomorrow and suddenly have a talking animal sidekick. What animal is it, and what's their personality type?
A walking or
Talking. It's a talking
It
animal.
doesn't have to walk.
No, but it's a talking animal sidekick. I mean, talking animal sidekick.
I would have
Could be a,
I would have a little Koki.
Oh.
Oh,
I'd have a little Koki right on my right shoulder,
yeah.
and his personality would be he's very spiritual. So he would be telling me mantras. He'd be like, let it go. Live in the moment. Which I always thought sounded like pomfret. Pomfret. Oh, no, I'm doing it the wrong way. I'm sorry. I give the Koki a backwards personality. It's pomfret. It's duh. Who am I?
Just
My Koki's not backwards. My Koki does it the right way up. So he goes, hey, Joe, just let it go. And as soon as he does the whistle, whatever, I don't even know how they make that noise, it just vanishes. He's like, Joe, that thing you had, that worry you had yesterday,
It's gone.
It's gone.
I love that.
That's awesome. I love it. That's great. Oh, I'm so happy.
and his name is Coke Edward Anderson. Coke E. A.
Anderson.
Coke E. No, it's just his name's Coke Edward. That's
Coke
what we call
Edward.
it. Coke E for short.
Koki. That's fantastic.
So now, next time you're thinking,
Oh, my
yeah,
face
your
hurts.
jaw's hurting, something, you're stressed out, just think. And I always thought, I heard it the first time when I was in Puerto Rico, when I told you when I came with Amber and it was Whiskey Joe.
Yeah.
And I would hear him outside going, what in the world? And it sounded like they were saying, pommes frites, which is French fry and
Yes.
That's
French.
fantastic.
Yes.
pommes frites.
I love that.
I love that so much. Awesome.
He's spiritual. What can I say? Trying to stay on the right path. Have music on Spotify and all those places. I mean, it's an album that I made during COVID. It's called Sounds of Isolation. And I made it in my apartment in Chicago. So it's like 12 songs, all recorded on my computer, all on Spotify, Amazon. But you get, I mean, it's such a, like
They take so much.
if you went and bought it, I would see a penny maybe. So you can do that. You can listen to them. But I'm starting to figure out, well, for now, because it's a small, normally you'd just be handing people CDs or, you know, but in this day and age, I feel like, hey, if you want to, my friends and my, you know, people that come to my shows here, if they want to buy a song, if they really like a song, then they can go to my website eventually and then buy it from me instead of, that's what I need to do. Anyway. Is this a sticker for me from my guitar?
It is.
Yes, it is. We would be honored if you would put it on your guitar.
Let's do it right now. It's on.
Yay!
Okay. I fell into a burning rapid fire. I went down, 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 and the questions got higher. I went down, 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 this rapid fire. It's rapid fire.
Are we ready?
Yes.
Okay. We have 10 questions.
Okay.
Favorite questions, very easy. You
Yes.
have 30 seconds to answer.
Go.
And here we go.
Done.
Favorite animal.
Mouse.
Favorite meal.
Lasagna.
I actually meant like breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Breakfast.
Okay. Favorite holiday.
Christmas.
Favorite sandwich.
Turkey bacon.
Favorite hobby.
Card games. Card games.
Favorite dessert.
Tiramisu.
Place you visited.
Amsterdam.
Favorite food.
Favorite food? Burgers.
Favorite game. Board game, video game, outdoor.
Oh, Quirkle.
And favorite app on your phone.
Favorite app on my phone, the Translate. And but ChatGPT is coming up a close second.
And I'm adding, even though we're over 30 seconds, favorite band.
Ooh, yeah.
You know what? Just for how influential they I have two, because I have my all-time Eagles, just because of what I learned the Eagles growing up, and I like their songs. And my current favorite band is Dawes, Dawes.
Which is one of my favorite bands.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And the Avett Brothers, but Dawes is really...
I love Dawes so much. What's your favorite song?
My favorite song, I think, is Take Me Out of the City, maybe, which I've played before.
All my favorite bands.
All my favorite. I could do it.
Yeah.
Late night drives and hot french fries and friends around the country, from Charlottesville to good old Santa Fe. When I think of you,
you still got on that hat that says let's party. I hope that thing is never thrown away. I hope that life without a chaperone is what you thought it'd be. I hope your brother's El Camino runs forever. I hope the world sees the same person that you always were to me. And may all your favorite bands stay together. I'm just waking up, son, I'm not thinking clearly, so don't quote me as I write you this song. Ain't it funny how some people pile into your head so easily? I haven't seen you in there for so long.
Come on, Aaron.
Know that life without a chaperone is what you thought it'd be. I hope your brother's El Camino runs forever. I hope the world sees the same person that you always were with me. May all your favorite bands stay together. May all your favorite bands stay together.
I hope that life without a chaperone is
What you thought it'd be. Hope your brother's El Camino runs forever. I hope the world sees the same person that you always were to me. And may all your favorite bands stay together. May all your favorite bands stay together. Yay!
You got a good voice.
Oh, thanks.
Dang. She's going to be singing. She's going to be coming up there singing next time I play. That's
Yes.
what we should do the next time.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
That's very, very
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Oh, this was so amazing.
Sorry.
So much fun.
I yammered a lot.
I
No,
know.
I loved it.
I love yammering. Yes, it's good. You're so awesome.
Yep.
And for people looking to get in touch with you, to
Instagram.
hire you for
Yes,
events.
Instagram, Island Time in a Bottle on Instagram.
We'll tag
Island-
you and
Yeah.
and share it and all
Island
that.
Time in a Bottle. And because that was, again, Croce, Time in a Bottle,
Oh, yeah.
and then the Island Time.
Yeah.
I was looking for one where I didn't have to try to spell my name
Yeah.
to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your Instagram? Joe Wiens. What? Joe Wiens. W-I-E-E-I? Island
Nope.
Time in a Bottle. now it's what? Island who? I can't, it's too long now. I'm just going to come up with random numbers, and then it'll be better.
Yeah,
no.
but-
Yeah, no,
But yeah,
it's fine.
Island Time in a Bottle is the easiest way. Probably Facebook, Joseph Wiens, W-I-E-N-S. And then some extra
Thank you
voice.
so much for
You're
being
welcome.
on.
A la orden, as they say. You're welcome.
Thanks, Joe.
Who's they? You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Cause there's just so much I don't know about you. There's so much I don't know about you. Oh, you got a lot to say. Oh, I'm gonna tell it to you anyway. There's just so much I don't know about you. Yes, there's so much I don't know about you. So much to say, so much to do. I'll be your man, I'll be your fool. There's just so much I don't know about you. Yeah, there is just so much I don't know about you.